Hello. My name is Sophie and I'm on Ozempic. And um, this video is not giving any type of medical advice. I just want to say that right away. This is just about my personal experience, and I'm sharing so it can help me get through this journey. And the reason why I was prescribed Ozempic is because my numbers on my A1C have been steadily going up, and I've been trying to do the best I can for these last couple of years. Just like a lot of us, I'm going to be 61 and pretty soon. And as you get older, your body is less tolerant of you not treating it well. And hello, der. But for some of us, yes, I just said der. I really dated myself. But I already told you how old I was. So anyhow, I have terrible posture, don't I? That's another thing. My mom had the best posture, and she tried to instill it into me, and it didn't work apparently. But anyway, on with the Ozempic story. So my numbers kept on going up, and every once in a while I would correct them, and I would get on a diet and exercise, but it was the battle, right? And it's okay. I think it's worth it. It definitely is worth it. Whatever you need to do to get healthy. And everybody knows having high blood sugars is not, for a long period of time, extended periods of time, is not healthy and does damage. And so she referred me to a weight loss doctor because she's my GP. And so she had tried, to help me with that. And anyway, so she thought I needed to go to a weight loss doctor, which I'm glad she did, because, and I'm not ashamed to say my weight, because a weight is just a number. We all have a weight. It doesn't determine your health in particular, but it can, depending on certain other variables. And for me, it was impacting my my health. And so, like I said, I'm 60. I'm going to be 61, and so at that point, I had already been losing some weight on my own. I believe at my highest, I'm 5'2", by the way. At my highest, I was like 245. So 245 on a 5'2" frame is just not good. One time I told my friend, I said, Vanessa, I said, I've lost my shape. She goes, Soph, you have a shape. It's round. And we laugh and we joke, and it's funny. And it's funny until it's not funny. It's funny until you can't get off the couch. Or you can get off the couch, but you're struggling to get off the, And it's funny until you can't bend down and tie your shoes without, losing your breath. It's funny until you have to do the things in life that you have to continue to do. Going to work, taking care of your obligations, everything that you need to do for yourself. And when I say it's funny, it's not funny, but we laugh because sometimes, some of us, that's just our coping mechanism. We laugh it off until it's not a laughing matter anymore. So I go to the weight loss doctor, and my doctor considered me, my A1C, I forgot what it was, but she says you're pre-diabetic and you're about ready to go into the diabetic area. And so I also had, I battle, I don't have a really serious hypertension problem, but I'm on medication for blood pressure as well. So she says, yeah, you need to get this under control. So I go, and then that doctor, after she looks at my lab, she goes, well, you're not pre-diabetic. She goes, you're diabetic. And I'm like, no, my GP says I'm pre-diabetic. She goes, A1C is one way to measure it. She goes, another way to measure it is your fasting glucose. And she goes, and yours is in the diabetic range. You're not supposed to have that kind of high of a glucose when you're fasting. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the reason why it bothers me that the whole being diabetic is I had a sister who she had other, issues as well, but diabetes was one thing that she did struggle with. And I saw I saw the toll that it took on her body, and I don't want that. After seeing and witnessing that, and a lot of us have witnessed that with our parents, our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles, and we see it, and yet we think, why? It's not going to happen to me, right? And then you're told you're diabetic, and I'm like, Anyway, I still think I was more pre-diabetic. Maybe I'm in denial. Okay. Anyhow, so then she puts me on this low-carb diet, and it's not keto. It is 20 carbs. She allowed me 20 carbs for the first 6 weeks, and but she wouldn't even, like, it was, I guess, what you call clean. That's my cat trying to play with my pen. What you call clean keto. There was no, I couldn't use any keto breads. I had to keep things, no processed foods, no keto, like Atkins treats or anything like that. She wanted it just basically veggies and protein, and I couldn't even have berries or nuts at that point. But I could have dairy. She gave me a list, right? I mean, and like I said, if you're going to do this, the best thing to do is go to a doctor who's going to be monitoring you. And I'm going to get to the Ozempic right now. And so at my first appointment, she did give me a diet. I have a little folder that I'm supposed to take every time I go with me. So she prescribed me metformin and Ozempic. And so the metformin I could get with no problems, right? And I'll be honest with you guys, she doesn't know this. I don't take the metformin. I don't take the metformin because I guess, I don't know, I'm just kind of not, I don't even like taking medication. I take medication for my blood pressure. I don't like taking medication because everything has side effects, and I'm like, let me just try the low carb diet first. But I wanted to try the Ozempic because I had heard all these, like, really helps you and all this stuff. And like the metformin, I've heard too many people tell me stuff about, oh, you have to like monitor your liver. And I don't know how much that is true, because I've heard it's perfectly safe. It really helps people. And I'm not saying I'm never going to take metformin, but right now I'm kind of like, we'll see, right? So anyhow, so she prescribes me that. And so the first thing I do is I really dedicate myself to the diet. And that was January 11th, 2023 is when I started with the doctor. And then on a month later, February 11th, without any medication, I lost 9 pounds. So I went from 224.7 to 212.9. So that's around 9 pounds, right? And so that was good, because that showed me that I can make changes. But when you start restricting a diet, there's pros, and I would say there's always going to be things that are going to be rough about that, because for some of us who have food addictions, and I'm a person who has food addictions, sugar and carbs. I love me some sugar and carbs in a lot of forms, it was hard. But of course, when you see the weight coming off, you're like, okay, this feels good, and so today is March 28th, 2023, and I have lost, now my current weight is 204 pounds. So I have lost roughly 20 pounds since January 11th. But I started taking the Ozempic on February 17th. So this has been 5 weeks and 4 days since I started Ozempic. And so here comes the Ozempic part. I'm sorry I made you guys go through all that, but I kind of am doing this for like my own historical purposes as well, just to keep track of how I got here, why and how. So the first couple of weeks on Ozempic, I was so nauseous, and I know you've heard this. I was like it was awful. And I went on YouTube and I was researching, and I said, and I knew it was a side effect, but I was like going, but dang, because that's, man, it was like, it was not, I mean, it's not like the same nauseous as like if you ate too much and you're like, oh my God, you're miserable and you feel just, disgusting. It wasn't like that. It was different. It felt like your body was like it was like rejecting just being. And I'm like, this is not right. I shouldn't feel so horrible. But, it was changing me. It was changing my what was going on in here, and what I mean by this is there's this hormone that mimics this other hormone. I can't explain what it does. Look for a doctor's video for that, or a pharmacist. But I knew this, like I said, was possible, but when it actually hits you, it's like, you're at work, or you're with your family, or you're with people, and you're sitting there and you're like going, oh God, just let this pass. Just please let this pass. And you're like, and of course you don't want to eat. So like in the first couple of weeks, I was just like not hardly eating, but I would I was taking my vitamin. The doctor prescribed a probiotic, a strong multivitamin, which next time I'm going to get one that's not a horse pill. And what else? And then just make sure you pick quality protein, right? And I'm supposed to eat my veggies, but I've always had that problem of not liking vegetables, so that's been a challenge. I do every once in a while drink a protein drink too, especially when I'm not hungry. I just get the protein drink and I eat that. Stick a spoonful of peanut butter in it. I have a chocolate flavor protein shake. But anyway, so as individuals, what is going to work for me may not work for you. That's why you go to a doctor. That's why you have it medically supervised, whether it's a nutritionist, doctor, whoever. I know people are doing this like sort of without, I don't know how they're doing it because a doctor has to prescribe it, right? But anyway, mine is closely supervised. But the only reason I'm filming, and here's the cool part, the reason I'm filming is because I finally am not nauseous. And that's after 5 weeks. I haven't been nauseous these last 4 days, and it has felt so good. But here is the downside on that. Drum roll. Yeah, there is a downside on not being nauseous for me. And this is kind of strange that I say that it's a downside for not being nauseous. My cravings are coming back, and so is my appetite. And I'm on a dosage right now. I'm at 0.5, which is it's just the second one up. So when I go back, I'm going to talk to my doctor and let her know, because last night I had a cheeseburger from McDonald's and some fries, and I hadn't had one since January 11th, actually before that. And then today I had a Del Taco and some fries, and then I had Burger King hamburger for dinner today and some fries. Freaking fries, they're so good. But are they? Are they really? Okay, so I'm gonna have to rein myself in. My body, it can't be the boss of what I know is best for me, right? When I say my body, just because I can eat more, just because I have my appetite back, how does that overrule the fact that I know that the fries are not beneficial to me? So here's my confession. I mean, we all do stuff that's self-sabotages, right? And it's a slippery slope, because fries aren't the devil. They're not. But I mean, I had fries last night, fries for lunch, and I had fries for dinner. Okay. Nah. Okay, so rein it in. Okay, so I probably need to go up a dose, and I will probably be nauseous when that happens. And I don't know how I have mixed feelings about that, right? It feels great not to be nauseous. I have my energy back. That's another thing I forgot to tell you guys. Fatigue is real. It's real. When I tell you I just got my energy back, I just got my energy back a couple of days ago. I keep referencing, this is my little timeline. I keep referencing the sheet because I was keeping track of everything, and I think the low energy was combine it with the nausea. It was not cool, and apparently I do know people get the fatigue. So anyhow, like I said, this is my story. This is my experience. You may not have the nausea. You may not have the fatigue. And I would say, good for you. And the people who are doing this for health, I'm right there with you, and I'm not going to be there's a lot of people that are judgmental for the people who are doing it for weight loss, because some people don't have diabetes. And I know there's this whole controversy over like, oh, should these people be taking it because it's taking it away from the diabetics and people who really need it. And I mean, isn't there enough to go around? I don't know. What do you think? Also, I did switch my site injection because somebody on one of the YouTube, I don't even know if this is true or if this is anecdotal or what, but one of the ladies that I was watching, she said that she switched it from giving it to her in her belly to giving it to her in her legs. So I did that too. I switched, and but I'm not sure if that really made a difference or if it was just time. And so what I might do next time I give myself an injection is I might give it to myself in my belly to see if, well, no, that's not going to make sense, because if they raise my dosage, that's probably going to be the thing that's going to make me nauseous. So I'll just continue to switch off my thighs. It's kind of funny, you guys. For your injection, it says make sure you don't hit make sure you put it into your fat, like a fatty part. Fat arms. Yeah, I don't care. Fat arms. I used to care about showing my fat arms when I was younger, but I don't anymore. Fat arms. Yeah, I got fat arms. Okay, sorry about that little sidetrack thing. So I was worried about hitting a muscle. Yeah, like I'm gonna hit a muscle on these thighs. I don't think so. But anyway, we should be concerned about our health. It should be a priority, and I hope it is a priority for yours. And I hope this video helps you on your journey. I hope it gives you some information. I'm going to continue to update my YouTube channel. This is like a new thing, basically a new thing for me. And, on my progress. And I don't know if I will ever get, let me take that back. Like a lot of us, because we've tried so many things, and I've lost 50 pounds before, gained it all back. I don't want this to be that again. I want to lose the weight that I'm supposed to lose. And, like I said, I'm going to a doctor, and the scale isn't even the most important thing to her. It's the muscle. What is it? It's called body composition. It's all about the body composition for her. She wants to know the ratio between the fat and the muscle mass. So we have that as my goal. And so what she was saying is, this is what I want. These are the percentages I want. And when you make it there, that you'll be within this range here on the scale, more than likely. So I like that, because all my life I was told, because I was 5'2", that I was supposed to be like 110 to 100, like, I don't know, something like 21 pounds or something like 18 pounds. I can't remember. Some kind of like ridiculous. Like, was I even that, small when I was in junior high? I don't even know. I don't remember. I was a little chubby in junior high. Yeah. One of these days I'll do a story about how, like, I had a teacher who used to always joke about my weight. Whatever. I mean, that happens, right? That happens to us. We have our stories. But I'm going to wrap this up right now, and thank you for watching. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I encourage you to do whatever you need to do. Do it safely, do it under supervision. People who are on this journey with you, whether it's with this medication, without this medication, and let's not judge others. You know, I mean, if we're all trying to do, we're trying to do what's best for us in the most healthy way. And for one person, it may be without medication. For one person, it might be with medication. And so, like I said, as long as you do it in a safe way, the safest way possible. And my name is Sophie, and I hope to see you soon. Please hit the like button if you like this video. Okay, bye.